goals in the offseason was to improve defensively, and they have done that. You saw all the great plays, and they have come all over the diamond for the Blue Jays. They have been much more aggressive on defense, and it has really helped out all over the diamond. Laurie at third every day. Colby Rasmus in center. Edwin Encarnaciones played great at first. And Bautista, of course, he leads the American League with 9 outfield assists.
You know, it's everybody. It's not just 1 or 2 guys getting into the act. Jose Bautista, in my mind, has played Gold Glove outfield to go along with a great batting average and things that he has done offensively with a great arm. But the whole team, Rasmus, it seems like every series he comes up with some kind of great catch. In the infield, everybody has been playing some great defense.
Kansas City Royals are in town. This is the first of a 4-game series. They lost 3 in a row after winning the opening game Friday night in Minneapolis. They lost the doubleheader on Saturday. But Ned Yost Royals are 5th in the American League with a .263 team batting average. Mike Mustakas, a young third baseman, has really enjoyed hitting against the Blue Jays. He has a .500 average. Top of the order, Alex Gordon at .273. He's been a red-hot hitter, hitting over .370 over his last 20-some games. Escobar, Hosmer, Billy Butler will go to the All-Star game in Kansas City, his home ballpark. Vinieski, Betancourt, Mike Moustakas, Jeff Francoeur, the right fielder. Sal Perez, the catcher, is back. He's just making his 7th start of the season. He has had knee problems, and he is back behind the plate.
He's a special catcher also. Ricky Romero will take them out for his 17th start, trying to improve on his last start where he was only 3 innings against the Boston Red Sox, which was his season low for his career. 2-1 with .341 in 4 starts versus the Kansas City Royals.
So we are set for action. Alex Gordon, .235 average against lefty pitching, takes a first pitch strike from Romero. That's one thing we're going to keep an eye on. Ricky Romero has had problems not being able to throw strikes, and he was going to try to use that 4-seam fastball tonight to get in the strike zone more consistently. Popped up over near the seats. Laurie over, and he'll run out of room. Romero also made a subtle adjustment on the rubber as he is in his wind-up position.
He has worked so hard at trying to find what has been ailing him this year to get the ball over, and you can see now that he is over on the third base side of the pitching rubber. Before, he was over on the first base side, and that really locked off his lower half where he couldn't get his arm up and through and couldn't get the extension that they were hoping that he would get.
Ground ball, Kelly Johnson. Ground out.
Good start for Ricky Romero. 3 pitches and 3 strikes. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Ricky Romero, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Basically, it's the fastball, the change, and the curve. And I think the changeup and the curveball are very important pitches for Ricky Romero. Combined off of those 2 averages, hitters this year hitting just .169 against Romero. When he is throwing those in the strike zone, pitchers that the batter has to offer up at. So when he's got that going along with his fastball, he can be tough.
Another first pitch strike from Romero. Against Kansas City on April 22nd, he had 13 of 24 outs on ground balls. And that's when he's at his best. And he already has one under his belt tonight. There's a line drive into right field. Bautista will play it on the hop. Alcides Escobar has a single. He has been hot. His average coming in at .310.
Ball down and away. You're right. Escobar is hot, and he is hitting everything. Not a bad pitch from Romero, down and away. Stays right with it. And he has also been one of their best base stealers this year.
12 for 14 in steals. And Romero will work out of the stretch. Eric Hosmer, good-looking first baseman. .233 on the season, and Romero is 3 for 3 in first pitch strikes.
Look, you mentioned about all the ground balls that Ricky Romero threw in that series. There are a lot of ground balls thrown by the Blue Jay pitchers in that 4-game series back in Kansas City. Lots of ground ball outs, lots of double plays.
In the 4-game series, the Blue Jays turned 9 double plays and 1 triple play. Eric Hosmer, who's at the plate, lined into a triple play. Tell you what, they hit the ball hard throughout the whole series and didn't have anything to show for it. Hosmer's hit well against the Blue Jays in just 11 games. This is a big start for Ricky Romero. He has lots of doubts, and he worked hard. He threw a side session abbreviated right after he was beat by the Red Sox the next day when he got back here on Thursday and ironed out some things, and they had an extended bullpen session where he made the mechanical adjustments and moving over to that third base side of the river. On the ground, Kelly Johnson will have to go to first. Escobar moves to second.
Well, some of the things that he was working on, he was working on his timing, he was working on his release. This was before he did some throwing. This is a towel drill that will help you get your arm up and out, and you've got to snap that towel through there. There he is over on the third base side of the pitching rubber trying to get comfortable. He's also working on his balance where he hung up into the air for a long time. Those are all the kind of things. And this is a successful pitcher in the big leagues who has had success. He's an all-star, but he's trying to find himself.
Everybody goes through slumps. Billy Butler, first ball down in the dirt. Kelly Johnson had broken toward the bag at second base, but Romero threw the pitch to home. Butler, a .297 average. He will go to the All-Star game. He has hit .373 against lefty pitching.
Yeah, and Blue Jays really put a collar on him in that series back at Kansas City in April. This was a guy who came up multiple times, and the Blue Jays were able to get him out with runners in scoring position.
Different story right now as Billy Butler over his last 25 games has hit .326. We mentioned his average against lefty pitching. He is third in the American League. Matt Wieters has hit .403, Derek Jeter .382, and that Butler at .373. So Romero's got a base open. There's no reason to challenge Billy Butler in this situation. Popped him up. Kelly Johnson calling for it. Bautista will give him some room, and Ricky Romero has a good first inning. Off to a good start tonight against Kansas City. Colby has really become a big part of this ball club, not only for what he does in center field, but what he does in the lineup. And John Farrell has become a big fan. Loves the effort he gets from him every single day. Blue Jays are a game over 500. Brett Laurie has really done a great job in the leadoff spot. He's hit well against Kansas City. He's 9 for 26. He has 3 triples, a home run. He's driven in 5. The Fab Four, top of the lineup, Rasmus, Bautista, and Encarnacion finishing off that top 4. They have really been the offensive force behind this ball club.
Edward Tiefberg just 4 games this year. He made his first major league appearance in 2 months last Wednesday when Sharp versus Tampa Bay. Spent some time on the disabled list with an abdominal strain and then some rehab at AAA.
Kansas City, much like the Blue Jays, has really been bitten by the injury bug in their pitching staff. They've had 4 pitchers with Tommy John problems. Felipe Paulino has not had surgery yet, but that's a possibility. Brett Laurie drills it through the gap in left. Up against the wall, Laurie is headed for second, and he is absolutely worn out lefty pitching. That's his 16th double of the season.
You make a mistake to Brett Laurie the way he's been swinging the bat right now, and you are going to pay for it. 1-0 get-me-over fastball that is right in his wheelhouses, and he smokes it into the gap in left center field. Easily extra bases. And this is what the Blue Jays are looking for the leadoff hitter. Some energy, get something started in that first inning.
Well, if you want energy, you got a lot of it in Brett Lawrie. Coming into this game, he has a .344 average against lefty pitching. That's 6th best in the American League. Colby Rasmus hit a home run in his last at bat yesterday afternoon. A 3-run shot to the seats in the second deck.
Boy, one of the prettier swings that we have seen from Rasmus in the 9th inning. Fastball on the inner half. He was able to keep that ball fair and hit it in the second deck in right field.
Rasmus homered off Tiford back in April. First of 2 home runs he hit against the Royals in that game on April 21st. Pops this ball out of play. Give me a breakdown on Rasmus and why he's been able to put up those numbers over the last 25 games.
I think because he's just forgotten about everything. He's just gone up there and cleared his mind, and he's not worried about, you know, what he looks like at the plate or how he's holding the bat. He's just concentrating on that baseball. And then he's just taking that natural swing. Yeah, he's made a couple of adjustments, got a little bit closer to the plate, and he's standing up just a little bit more. But I think his mind is freer, and he's just letting it happen.
I think, too, Colby Rasmus is not trying to impress anybody. He's just trying to have good at-bats.
Yeah, just play baseball.
2 balls and a strike. Brett Lawrie with a leadoff double.
I love the saying that the White Sox have taken on this year. Hey, don't forget about the baseball. And it goes for hitting. So many times you can step into that batter's box and worry about so many different things, and you forget about the baseball.
High and deep to center field. Jason Bourgeois is there. Lawrie tags, and he goes over to third base, and Rasmus moves him up 90 feet.
That ball had some sound to it all. Also, lucky it just stayed into the ballpark. Let's take a look at the scouting report for the young left-handed starter for the Kansas City Royals, Everett Tiford. Fastball, he uses it 46% of the time. He's not a real big guy, and he's not going to throw the ball by. About 88 to 93 of that fastball. His change is excellent. Sinking action. He's got a sharp curveball. Doesn't really stay on top of it all that time. Starting to throw a cutter just a little bit more. But he's got all 4 of the pitches. Really up just a little bit above average, all of them.
Jose Bautista was the Blue Jays Player of the Month. He's also been named the American League Player of the Month with a terrific home run month. 14 home runs, a club record for homers in a single month for the Blue Jays. He led all Major League players in home runs, RBIs, walks, and slugging percentage for the month of June.
Was there any doubt? There couldn't have been anybody else than Jose Bautista for the month of June.
2-0. Downstairs, it's 3-0. Bautista has hit 7 home runs and driven in 16 runs in his last 13 games. Brett Lawrie just 90 feet away. Bautista takes a walk. So Bautista will go to first base. It's first and third for Edwin Encarnacion. And Edwin has hit well against lefty pitching this year, a .324 clip. I asked Dwayne Murphy about Encarnacion's season. He said he thinks he's had a better game plan than anybody on the team all season long. Going to the plate with an idea of what he wants to hit.
A couple of years ago, you could classify Edwin Encarnacion as a free swinger, but I don't think you can do that now.
Breaking ball, and he will take first base. That ball came down and in and hit him on a knee. Really kind of surprised him.
I think he was taking all the way after 4 straight balls out of the strike zone to Jose Bautista. Encarnacion's going to take all the way and just relax for just a second. Just forgot about the ball to hit him right on the knee.
That's the 8th time he's been hit this year. That moves him into second place in that category, something you really don't want to lead in. Josh Willingham of the Twins has been hit 11 times. So Encarnacion will go to first base and that'll load the bases. The Blue Jays have a great opportunity early. Laurie with the leadoff double is at third. Bautista took a one-out walk. He's at second, and Encarnacion was hit by a pitch, and Yunel Escobar 6 for 16 on the homestand. Bats with one out and the bases loaded.
Just starting to get hot, I think. Escobar, what Dwayne Murphy has been doing with him is having him stand up a little bit more at home plate, a little bit more upright, and he sees the ball just a little bit better. He's a little bit freer with his swing when he is standing up. And the main thing that he's doing now is when he feels like he is out of that, he has the ability to go back to it. When he feels like he's getting a little bit too far crouched at the plate and bends his back towards the pitcher a little bit too much, he can feel it now that it's not right.
Career numbers with the bases loaded. He has one grand slam this season. Escobar just 1 for 3 with the bases loaded. Ground ball. Betancourt will have to go to first, and Blue Jays get on the board. Escobar picked up the RBI on the ground out. Blue Jays this season are 23-12 when they score first. That's what they've done here tonight in support of Ricky Romero.
Another reason why John Farrell wanted to shake it up a little bit at the top of the lineup. He wanted to get out to an early lead, put a little bit more speed at the top of the lineup. It pays off. Escobar, I think, is better in RBI situations. Doesn't strike out a lot, sees a lot of pitches, and puts the ball in play.
Kelly Johnson with 2 outs and runners at second and third. Goes after the first pitch and drills it to left field, but that's going to hang up for Alex Gordon. Johnson hit it hard, but the Blue Jays get out on top against Everett Tiefert. 1-0 after 1 for Ricky Romero.
The Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. It'll be Betancourt, Mustakas, and Francoeur for Kansas City. Yuniesky Betancourt, .250 average for the season. He has 5 homers and has driven in 27. Romero threw 11 pitches in the first inning, 9 strikes. Dramatic turnaround from his last start against the Red Sox.
Yeah, typically you have a pitch that you can go to when you need a strike, and that was what was missing for Romero in that start versus the Red Sox. He just could not get that fastball to his arm side over the plate. Just couldn't pull it back over, and that necessitated the move over to the third base side. I think that frees up his arm where he can get that fastball to right-handers on the outside part of the plate, to left-handers on the inside part.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you can't throw strikes with your fastball, you're not going to have success.
Nope.
You get big league hitters knowing that you're not able to throw strikes, they'll just take them. But when Romero is throwing strikes, then all of his other pitches really come into play.
It puts you in swing mode, and when you're in swing mode, that curveball, that changeup, that happens right there. You've got to swing, and you're going to pick up strikeouts.
That's the first strikeout of the night for Romero.
There's the grip on the changeup, and it rolls right off of his last finger and goes down and away. Got one of the better changeups in baseball.
Mike Mustakas, the young third baseman, has gone 4 for 5 against Ricky Romero. So that pitch downstairs.
Kind of change it up just a little bit then against Mustakas. I like him. I think he's going to be a really good player in this league. He put on a clinic the last time we saw him with the glove.
Yeah, he's a very good third baseman. He's just 23 years old. Played 111 games last year. Came up and got some time in. Back-to-back curveballs for Romero, and he's ahead 1-2.
Well, when that curveball is spinning over for strikes, called strikes, and that changeup for called strikes, that's when you know that Romero's got something special.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Romero here in the second.
Looks like a cutter on the outside part of the plate, and he reaches back for a little something extra. As Mustakas cannot hold up. Slider down and away, and he picks up his second strikeout.
Right fielder Jeff Vancourt will step in against Romero, and there you can see he is definitely on the third base side of the rubber. It's a little bit like a golfer setting up on a tee box. You give yourself a better angle at the plate. That ball naturally runs down and away to Romero's arm side. So he's got more plate to shoot for.
Well, just think when he was over on the other side, how far he had to turn and step to get the ball over the plate, because his left arm was hanging over the side of the mound, and how he had to step across his body, and that takes a lot of pressure, puts a lot of pressure right on your arm.
You really have to fight to get that arm all the way across your body and get over the plate. Here on this angle, not so demanding. You can really shoot to that outside corner to Vancourt. That cutter was off the plate inside. 3 balls and a strike, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Vancourt will take a 2-out walk. When you look at Ricky Romero's record, you say, well, it's not too bad. He's 8-2, but you see the April ERA, very respectable at 3.18. But a different story for the last 2 months, and all of the numbers have gone up against Romero.
And I think they're all tied to that whip right there. That is walks plus hits divided by the innings pitched. He's just walking too many people, too many base runners, and they come around to score. The opponent's batting average up just a little bit.
Salvador Perez drills it to left field and over the fence, a 2-run home run. Perez just back off the disabled list. His 3rd home run of the season in Kansas City has taken a 2-1 lead.
Just like that, the 2-out walk, and then the first pitch home run. This Perez is a good player. It was the beginning of the season. Blue Jays didn't see him in that series in Kansas City because of the knee problems, and he turns on that. Romero missed his spot. They wanted the ball down and away, and he missed down and in, and that's right where Perez likes it.
Jason Bourgeois, the center fielder. Bourgeois hitting 240, and boy, oh boy, that's a good bat to have back for Kansas City. Sal Perez, the catcher. With a squibber out in front of the plate, and Romero's got no play. J.P. Sebia couldn't get out from behind the home plate. That was a easier play for the catcher, but Bourgeois runs well, and he'll have himself an infield hit.
I think the only player who could have made it was Aaron Seavey. He was calling it, but then stopped when Romero called him off, and he's not going to be able to pick that ball up. His momentum going away from the base, Aaron Seavey is just going to turn into it. Pick it up with his bare hand and then turn and make a good throw.
So Romero continues to work out of the stretch. Back to the top of the order, Alex Gordon. Grounded out to second, his first time up. Bourgeois is just playing in his 12th game. He has 1 steal. He's been caught twice. Good start to this inning. Ricky Romero had back-to-back strikeouts and then walked Jeff Francoeur with 2 outs. And Sal Perez hit a 2-run home run. Just off the plate. There's a breaking ball strike. It's 1-1. The home run allowed by Romero was the 14th he's given up this season. This is his 17th start of the year.
Not really alarming numbers for the starting pitcher. The amount of innings that Romero is going to have.
There goes the runner. Gordon fouls it back. Bourgeois had a good jump at first. Mentioned Kansas City has lost 3 in a row. Ned Yost's team won the opener on Friday night in Minneapolis and then lost the doubleheader on Saturday. And Minnesota hit 4 home runs in a game on Sunday to win that one.
They have had their trouble against the Minnesota Twins the last couple of years.
Gordon checks and there's no appeal. It'll be 2-2. Off the end of the bat, Escobar from shortstop quickly in time to get Gordon. The inning is over, but Kansas City has taken a 2-1 lead on Sal Perez's 3rd home run of the season. Were on display. It was Canada Day, and you can pick up your Canada Day merchandise at jshop.ca. Jerseys, caps, t-shirts, and much more. jshop.ca is the official online merchandising site of the Toronto Blue Jays. A lot of fans wearing their colorful red jerseys here this evening. It's been a great weekend, and a lot of fans turned out over the weekend, and they still sport those beautiful red jerseys, and you can pick up your Canada Day merchandise at jshop.ca. Rajai Davis. He's got just 1 for 10 in this homestand. 4-game set, batting .268 on the season. It's this ball high and deep to center field. Bourgeois breaking it down in front of the warning track. Gets there, and Davis is retired. Blue Jays scored a run in the bottom of the first, and it's been a real problem for them that they haven't had that shutdown inning in the next half inning. And when you look at the most runs allowed in the half inning after scoring, Blue Jays are second only to the Twins.
Yeah, only the Twins have hit them more, and the Blue Jays have preached this. The coaching staff have preached this to the Blue Jays about shutdown innings after the offense puts numbers on the board for you. It goes such a long way in keeping that momentum in your dugout. You score a run, you go out there, boom, 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 and the next thing you know, you're hitting again. That's when the games really get out of hand for the opposition.
Yeah, when you can get right back up there and score another run or two and just keep the momentum in your dugout.
It's just been a problem. 110 runs given up this year after the Blue Jays have scored.
Adam Lynn continues to bat in the 8th spot in this order. He's 2 for 11 on this homestand. Hits this ball right to the second baseman. Betancourt has it. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second. And this is exactly what we're talking about. And Tiford has been staked to a lead, and he gets 2 quick outs here in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, and now J.P. Sr. is going to have to grind out an at-bat and keep the inning alive, because that's not a good feeling. When you're in that dugout, you've given up a couple of runs, and the next thing you know, you're back on the field with your glove.
Yeah, Ricky Romero doesn't even have time to catch his breath. 2 outs. Aaron Sevia takes the first pitch strike. JP had a solo home run in the 7th inning. That tied the game at the time at 3-3. But the Angels scored 3 in the top of the 8th and blew it wide open with 4 more in the 9th. JP
has become a very good off-speed hitter. That home run that you were just talking about was off another first pitch breaking ball. Throw it over the middle plate and down, and he is going to hit it.
Another breaking ball and another foul tap. Been a rough stretch for Aaron Sevia over his last 25 games. He's at 188. That's the benefit of being an everyday player. You get back in there and you can erase the memories of that stretch.
Yeah, get something started. Home runs like the one he hit the other day, they go a long way to get you in a good frame of mind. Get on a little hot stretch.
Pops this one up. Middle of the diamond, the first baseman, Eric Hosmer, is down from first base and makes the grab. And Eric Tiford has a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. Kansas City leads it 2-1. Announce a debut of a new show on Sportsnet Fan 590. It begins tomorrow. It's called Baseball Central. And we're pleased to be joined by the host of Baseball Central, Sam Cosentino. And Sam, congratulations. You must be excited about your new show debuting tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Buck. It's great to be back. It's been about a year and a half away from baseball. Did a couple of games last year, but getting back into it's going to be fantastic. Working with Dirk Hayhurst. He should have some interesting commentary. So looking forward to that. Started to read his book. Really impressed by him being an athlete, but a great writer.
Yeah, he's a very talented guy. So tell us what the plan is for your show. I know there are a lot of different baseball shows, but this is unique in that this first time we've had one of these radio shows all about baseball in Canada.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We're going to kind of start with the Blue Jays and then move into the American League East a little bit. The Blue Jays' most feared opponents, and then move into baseball in general. Whatever the big news story of the day, trades, guys, suspensions, whatever those type of things that happen. And we just are looking forward to complement the great group that Sportsnet has put together. I mean, with you guys here, and Carson, yourself, Tabby, and Buck, the job you guys do, and then Ashby and Jerry, and then you've got Shai Davidi. I think Sportsnet's done a really good job putting a huge team together. So we're hoping that we can come in and just kind of complement that group with maybe something a little different than what you guys are able to provide on a daily basis.
Is it a call-in show where the fans be able to call in and where you have discussions, or where you have players on and other baseball people on?
Yeah, we're going to be guest centric.
Okay.
That's what we're going to be. And unless something is really insightful, that's raises the ire of the fans, then we'll open up the phone lines. But that's not something that we want to do on a regular basis. We want to be able to get the information out there with all of the experts, be it broadcasters, writers, players, coaches, managers, and maybe some different people, some doctors. That'd probably be an interesting topic to have on this year, of course, with the way the Blue Jays have gone.
Talk about a little bit about the simulcast aspect of it too, because that's going to give you even a broader audience.
Yeah, that's really cool. That Sportsnet Ontario and East will be broadcast pretty much full time. And then from there on out, depending on what other channels are available at the time that the show's on, they'll run right across the country. So we're looking forward to drawing an audience, not just a Blue Jays audience, that's of course being a big part of it, but a baseball audience right across the country that we really think thirsts for knowledge. I've been to New Brunswick. I've been right across the country doing junior hockey games in the Canadian Hockey League, and people always recognize me from Blue Jays and baseball, and they want to talk baseball first. It's amazing how that works. Old hockey scouts, they love it. And so when you see the thirst this country has going from New Brunswick right across to BC, even out to St. John's when we used to do some games over there, it's pretty neat. We hope to appeal to everyone across the country.
Tell us a little bit about Dirk Hayhurst for people that aren't that familiar with him, because he's a very interesting guy.
He is. He is indeed. He bounced around the minor leagues a little bit and, got into the writing thing, spent some time in the San Diego organization, in the big leagues a little bit, had a cup of coffee here with the Blue Jays, and so he is definitely going to provide some interesting commentary, and I'm looking forward to working with him. I met him a few times when he was here, when I was, in my other role, but really looking forward to hearing what he has to say on a daily basis, because he's educated for sure.
How did it all come together? How did it come together with Dirk and you?
Yeah, it was. You know what, Tabby? It's a great question. It was interesting in that, before the MasterCard Memorial Cup, Don Collins, the program director at the Fan, called and said, "Hey, how would you like a summer job?" And I said, "Wow, it's been a little while. This would be pretty cool." So what is it? Well, we were thinking about starting Baseball Central at noon, and we'll replace Hockey Central at noon. We're thinking about getting Dirk involved, and we'd like you to be a part of it. And I said, you know what, this would be an unbelievable opportunity, a nice way for me to get back into the game, and a nice way to get into a medium that I don't have a ton of experience in, but something I'm looking forward to in radio.
I think one thing too that you have is the insight with the Blue Jays, and you'll be able to continue to develop that relationship being here in Toronto. But talk about Hayhurst. Will he be local? Will he be here in Toronto at times?
He will be. We're just not exactly sure when.
He should be.
He should be. He's currently detained. No, he will. He'll be here. He'll be here. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I'd say by the end of the week we should have him here in full Army gear.
I think that's the whole benefit of this thing, is that you can come to the ballpark the night before your show, talk to some players, talk to visiting teams, and have the ability to relate those stories at noon and build up for the next night.
Yeah, I think with two of us we'll be able to kind of switch back and forth. I think it's also important to kind of sit at home and watch games, through the package, the extra innings package, and be able to see what's going on everywhere.
Brett Laurie will go across the diamond, and Lynn does a good job of going to the foul side of the bag. Brett had thoughts of going around the horn for a double play, but the best shot was to go across diamond to first.
Time to put another star on the scoreboard next to Brett Laurie. Watch how he moves, how quickly and how low he stays to the ground. There was the shot of possibly getting that lead runner, but then he thought better. So quick, gets up, gets his feet set, gets his feet underneath him, and that allows him to make a strong throw across the diamond.
2 outs. Sam Cosentino is with us. He'll be co-hosting the Baseball Central show that'll start tomorrow on Sportsnet for Fan 590. And Sam, you have seen this organization. I mean, you started out as a teenager with this ball club, and now it appears as though the fan base has gotten much younger. What's your take on that, and why has that phenomenon occurred here around this ball club?
I think a lot of it, the old logo is a big part of it. You know, I think people relate to some of those good years, the Delgado years and the years before that, Sean Green, Alex Gonzalez. I think that has a big thing to do with it. But I also think that this is a club now. You have a young general manager, a younger team appealing to a younger group of people. And I think that our company has really done a good job promoting it, guys. Some of the commercials you see, the modern music, the music that's more of the younger demographic, if you will. I mean, there's a couple of different elements there.
That was a fair ball down the line. Davis has thrown his second. Kelly Johnson dropped the ball, and Betancourt is in with an RBI double. Eric Hosmer scores, and it's 3-1 Kansas City.
Well, the month of June was a good month for Betancourt in terms of RBIs, and he picks up another one with 2 outs. Somehow he's able to keep the ball. He's sawed off by Romero and somehow keeps the ball fair down the left field line. Now, Rajay Davis had a shot at him at second base. Ball caroms off the wall. He had a shot. The throw was high and a little bit off target, but they're in plenty of time. But Betancourt comes around the slide, or excuse me, around the tag because the throw was a little off target.
Mike Mustakas, the third baseman, is batting with 2 outs, and Betancourt at second. We are joined in the booth with Sam Cosentino, who's going to host a new radio show that debuts tomorrow at noon. And it'll be a 1-hour show 5 days a week during the week?
Yep, 5 days a week, 1 hour. It'd be very much the same as Hockey Central at noon, and just trying to get as many guests on and trying to educate and entertain and have some fun with it.
All right, before you get out of here, you have to give me your take on the Blue Jays from what you have seen now the first half of the season.
Pretty amazed with all the injuries that they're still able to, keep around the 500 mark.
Mustakas hits it high and deep to right. Bautista can't make the play. It's off the wall. Betancourt around third. He comes in to score. And the Royals have jumped on Ricky Romero here in back-to-back innings. It's 4-1 Kansas City. Sam, you watch the Blue Jays all the time, and who has caught your eye off of this particular team so far this year?
Edwin Encarnacion. I think he's been dynamite. And, for a guy that never says a word about anything, gets moved all over the field, all-star type year. And my guess is, and you know how this goes, guys, when all the players are named, someone inevitably gets hurt, and I think Eddie should be at the top of the list should someone find themselves in that situation. He's had a dynamite season.
Yeah, he sure has. And, nobody wants to make a team because of an injury, but he's worthy of going. And I was a little disappointed he wasn't part of that final man vote. I thought he should be included in that vote for sure.
I don't know how that works, but how was he not one of the guys?
Well, I think Wash wanted a pitcher, and so it was all pitchers listed, and I think he kind of gets the call on that one, and that's how that played out. But should they have gone to a position player, he'd have been the first guy on my list.
There you see Blue Jays Central at noon. It's on Sportsnet the Fan 590, and it'll debut tomorrow. Colby Rasmus back. Spun around and makes a catch. The inning is over. And Sam Cosentino, the best of luck. Hopefully everything will go well for you, and I know you'll have a great show.
Thanks, Buck. Thanks, Tabby.
Sammy, great to see you,
guys. Good
buddy.
to see you guys.
For the inside scoop on the Blue Jays and the latest stories from around baseball, visit our MLB Mashup blog on sportsnet.ca. It features Shy Davidi and Mike Cormack. They'll take you inside the Blue Jays clubhouse and keep you up to date on everything going on around the baseball world. Blue Jays got some work to do. They are down 4-1. Brett Lawrie scored the first run of the ball game. He had a leadoff double and came around to score on the ground out by Yunel Escobar. Everett Tiefert, his last start came Wednesday, went 5 innings. It was an afternoon game, and it was 97 degrees in Kansas City. And he kind of wilted under that summer heat.
But while he was in there, he was pretty good. 5 innings, 5 strikeouts.
Bouncing ball. Betancourt behind second. And Laurie's retired. Well, we mentioned the Kansas City Royals and how they have been decimated by injuries to their pitching staff, much like the Blue Jays. They lost their closer, Joaquim Soria, in spring training. Ned Yost had a great plan to have Soria closing. Jonathan Broxton is the setup guy. Their bullpen looked like it was really in great shape. And then, much like the Blue Jays, they lost their closer. Blue Jays, of course, lost Sergio Santos in April.
Everybody had to move up a notch in the bullpen. Jonathan Broxton, 20 saves. He was supposed to be the setup man. Of course, he did that when he was with Los Angeles. But they also lost some starters to the Tommy John surgery.
Danny Duffy, a fine-looking young left-hander, had Tommy John surgery. Blue Jays saw him early in April, and he has since had that surgery.
Yeah, I liked him too. Good arm. He was throwing about 95, 96. Good breaking ball. All he needed was repetition. Chance to go out there and play.
Bruce Chen, Luke Hochevar on the bench there. And Hochevar's thrown the ball very well of late. In the middle of your picture there, and he is a guy that they've always thought that they would build around, and right now he's pitching like the leader of that pitching staff.
And they put him in for the 4th game in this series.
Bobby Rasmus gets underneath it, hits it high into right field. Francoeur is there. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Hochevar was originally not scheduled to pitch in this series. Jonathan Sanchez was. Ned Yost elected to go with the right-handers because he feels that the Blue Jays have a right-handed, top-heavy offensive team, so he wants to get as many righties in there as possible.
Jose Bautista was just named the American League Player of the Month this afternoon, and that's the 5th time Bautista has been honored with that Player of the Month award. He was honored in July 2010 and in August of 2010. And then in April and May of 2011, he had 2 months where he hit 360 in back-to-back months. And then this past June, 14 home runs, 30 RBIs. So congratulations to Jose Bautista, his 5th Player of the Month award. Jose Bautista has also confirmed his participation in the Home Run Derby. It'll be Jose Bautista, Prince Fielder, Mark Trumbo, and Robinson Cano for the American League.
You knew Jose would be itching to get back there from what happened to him last year. He got knocked out in the 1st round. I believe he hit 4 home runs.
This ball is high and deep to center field. Jason Bourgeois at the track. Home run, Bautista. That hit the facing of the outfield seats. His 27th home run. The top home run derby, and Bautista delivers.
Right on cue with that home run swing from Bautista. We had a very interesting discussion with him yesterday about looking for baseballs in his hot zone, and his hot zone is middle in. That's exactly what he gets. It looked like a breaking ball in the middle of the plate. And Jose, with that patented follow through, that finish, picks up another one.
The Blue Jays have hit 2 home runs in 5 straight games coming into this game, and the way they've been swinging the bats, no deficit is too big to overcome.
I love that finish. It's a high finish. Nobody swings a quicker bat than Bautista. gets everything into it. The way his hips rotate through that swing, he creates a lot of bat speed with that hip action.
There's a base hit into center field for Edwin Encarnacion. Take a look at Jose Bautista physically. You wouldn't think he'd be a power hitter, but watch the rotation on this swing.
And where the hips come through and where he finishes. That you've got to be loose and limber, first of all, but you've got to be quick. You hear about the core and how the core has to be strong. Yeah, he did.
Number 27 for Jose Bautista. He stretched out his major league lead in home runs. Let's picked up an RBI with a ground out in the first inning. Bouncing ball, Betancourt over in time, and the inning is over. But the Blue Jays cut back into the Royals' lead. Jose Bautista comes through with 2 outs. A high, deep drive to center, over the wall in center. His 27th of the season. Blue Jays are now within 2. Romero to Sal Perez, a first pitch strike. Perez hit a 2-run home run in the second off of Romero. Ball on the strike. Here's where Romero really needs to put up a 0. 8-9-1 in the Royals lineup. Bautista's home run has made it a 4-2 Royals lead. Off speed pitch. Perez is out in front. Perez reached for it and fouled it off J. Pierre and Sebia.
We had a chance to see Salvador Perez last year. Don't remember him being as big as he is right now. He stands 6'3", so he's very tall for a catcher. He has put on some weight, some added strength, muscle from last year to this year. Look how big his thighs are.
He's listed as 245 in the media guide. He's a big young man. He's just 22 years old. And he has really come on quickly through the organization. He's from Venezuela. He's from Valencia, Venezuela. the same hometown as Henderson Alvarez. It's another base hit right back through the middle. Leadoff single for Perez. Kids, a reminder, you can become a member of the 2012 Junior Jays Club. All it takes is $19.99. The membership includes a baseball hat, pennant, and an invitation to exclusive autograph sessions with the Blue Jays. Go to bluejays.com/kids or call 416-341-1715 to join the Junior Jays Club. Past Brett Laurie. Down the left field line, Perez is headed for third. Davis had a shot to keep Bourgeois from going to second, but came up, hesitated, and Bourgeois moves into second base with his second hit, a double. Back-to-back hits now. Start off the fourth.
4 for 4 now. The 8 and 9 hitters for the Royals tonight. A couple of singles, a double, and a home run. This is the double down the left field line. That will set you up for some big innings. 2 on, nobody out.
Back to the top of the order, left-hander Alex Gordon, the left fielder. Takes one outside. Gordon has grounded out twice so far.
Classic example right here. Get him over, get him in. You got a tough left-handed pitcher on the mound. You're a left-handed batter. You're looking to hook the ball to the right side.
And there's another base hit. Bourgeois held up at second. And now he's going to stop at third. Perez comes in to score 3 straight hits off Romero for the Royals here in the fourth. Been a real struggle for Ricky Romero lately. You look back at his last 7 starts, his ERA almost at 7. Opponents hit about 280 against him. And the whip has been a real concern. That's the walks and hits per innings pitched, over 1.6, and home runs allowed. 7 home runs allowed by Ricky Romero, and the Royals have zeroed in on him early. 5 runs on 9 hits, and there's nobody out here in the fourth.
Almost 2 batters per inning reaching you. Not a lot of shutdown innings. And again, it's just executing pitches, throwing the ball where you want to. Having a spot where you can go to when you need a strike. Where is that? For Romero, it is usually his arm side fastball, where he can throw it on the outside corner to the righty and get that strike where he needs it.
Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, batting .311. He's 1 for 2 so far. It's a strike on the inside corner. It's a ball and a strike. Late on a fastball, he fouls it into the seats. The Royals have had back-to-back winning months for the first time since 2007. They have really turned things around. The last time the Blue Jays saw the Royals, Blue Jays swept them in a 4-game series, and the Royals were in the midst of a 12-game losing streak.
And they played awful at the beginning of the season at home. That was in the midst of losing all those home games to start the season. Things just weren't going right for Ned Yost and his group. They had some injuries early, Perez and Soria, and in their starting rotation, they just weren't hitting. Eric Hosmer, for the longest time, was under 200, and he's hard charging now.
They were 3-14 to start the season, and that's a tough hole to dig yourself out of. Now you look at the Royals, they're 35-42 at the start of play tonight, so they have turned things around quickly. But 3-14, Ned Yost did a good job of keeping his team afloat. Ricky Romero records the first out of the top of the fourth, the strikeout of Escobar.
A very hot hitter in Alcides Escobar. Cuts that fastball on the inner half, and Escobar swings over the top of it. Concentrating, keeping the ball down. I think that's the thing that's missing right now from Romero. A lot of pitches are about thigh high. He's got to get that ball down around the knees. That's where he was at the beginning of the season. The ball was down. He got a lot of ground ball outs and a lot of double play balls.
Eric Hosmer. He scored a run in the third inning. That ball gets away from Arancibia, and here comes Bourgeois from third. Arancibia, it didn't look like he touched that. It hit the umpire's shin guard, and that's the only reason it stayed close to home, and Bourgeois picked up on it quickly.
Let's watch it again here. It looked like a fastball in the inner half, and you're right, it hit the shin guard of the home plate umpire. Kept it around home plate, but heads up base running by both the runners on base.
Well, that's a big wild pitch, as that eliminates the chance for the double play. Gordon is at second now. Breaking ball bends around the inside corner. See, that ball got away from Arancibia and hit the umpire's shin guard that bounces in front of home plate, and Bourgeois scores easily. It's 6-2 Kansas City. Rasmus with a big cut. That ball bounced in front of home plate, and Hosmer will take the walk.
This is, again, an inning where John Farrell needed a shutdown inning right here from his starter. Blue Jays had cut into that lead with a home run by Jose Bautista. And now Kansas City has added to their lead. Some moving around now in the bullpen for the Blue Jays.
Yep, and Bruce Walton is on the phone to Pete Walker down in the bullpen. They'll get somebody throwing. Runners at first and second, one out. Ricky Romero needs a ground ball double play. Billy Butler hit a ground ball to third his last time up, but Laurie could only go across the diamond to first. Made a good play to retire Butler at first. Billy Butler's a good hitter. He's a guy that never really thinks about hitting home runs. He thinks about getting base hits first, and that's why he's been able to hit for a high average throughout his career.
He reminds me of his hitting coach, Kevin Seitzer, with power. Kevin Seitzer was that type of hitter like Butler, and they've really meshed together as coach and student. Butler looks for the ball out away from him like Seitzer did and tries to drive the ball to left center into right center. There's Seitz. Kevin Seitzer, the hitting coach of the Kansas City Royals. Good average hitter. Didn't have the type of power that Butler has, but there's a lot of similarities between the coach and the player.
Billy Butler was named to his first All-Star team yesterday, and he'll play in that game in Kansas City. Pitch is down and in. Give you an idea just how good a hitter Billy Butler is. He has 153 doubles since the start of the 2009 season. That's the second most doubles in the American League to Robbie Cano. Pretty good company for Billy Butler.
He plays in a great ballpark, Kauffman Stadium, with big power alleys. And if you don't have that light tower power, that's a good approach at the plate. The type of approach that Butler has.
Billy Butler's just 26 years old. Got to the big leagues very early in his career. Full count, one out. Gordon at second, Hosmer at first. Pulled foul outside of third. Billy Butler turned 26 on the 18th of April, and active players under 27. Only Delman Young of the Tigers has more hits than Billy Butler. Adam Jones Justin Upton in Arizona and Escobar Cabrera, top 5 for hits for a player under 27. There go the runners. This ball is shot into right field. Bautista is back, and they'll be able to double up. The runner is second. Alex Gordon went all the way to third base, and Bautista will pick up another assist on the double play. That's his 10th of the season. On the bench, and this has been an ongoing thing for Walton and Romero. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And Bruce Walton has said from time and time again, he says, you know what, pitchers are going to have ups and downs. Sometimes it comes in the course of one season. It might not happen for 3 or 4 seasons. Ricky Romero has had 3 consistent years of improving each year, and this year it's been a real battle for him.
You know, it's like a hitter where, you know, one year it just feels great. Everything that you do, you know, turns to gold. Everything you hit falls in for a hit. And then there's some years that you hit the ball better than you did the year before. You don't have anything to show for it. I think that's something that's happening with Romero right now. He's done it in the past. He's succeeded here. And right now it's just not happening for him.
For Romero, that's 8 straight starts now where he's allowed 4 or more runs. And he has been the backbone of this pitching staff since he has moved into the rotation. This is his 4th year as an everyday starter.
So you try different things, you work on different things, and then one day you find it, and all of a sudden that ball feels like a little aspirin in your hand, and you can throw it wherever you want to.
Other times it feels like a volleyball and there's no seams on it. You have no idea where it's going.
Yep.
And everybody goes through it. 2-2 to Kelly Johnson. He backs out of the way. Kansas City leads 6-2. Kelly Johnson will get a leadoff walk. That starts the bottom of the 4th inning.
Watch over 50 years of Honda racing innovation at the Honda Indy Toronto, July 6th to 8th. Get tickets at HondaIndy.com.
The Honda Indy car has become part of the display here at Rogers Center. And that Honda Indy race will take place the first week of July. Rajay Davis bunts it foul back over the screen.
Not a bad idea to try and drop a bunt down. But I would like to. Always like hitting against left-handers, especially left-handers who didn't throw very hard. A chance to get extra base hits. drive in some runs with guys on base. I'll say drag bunting for against those tough right-handers like Felix Hernandez.
Especially with a left-handed batter behind you. Rajai Davis has double power and certainly has the speed to get an extra base hit. So you'd like to take advantage of that leadoff walk. Hit a double. Maybe you give Lind a chance to drive in 2, second and third, nobody out.
Yeah, that's a great point with the lefty and the left-handed pitcher.
Oh, 2 to Davis on the ground. Escobar, Betancourt, Hosmer double play. So that erases the leadoff walk. The 6-4-3 double play. Betancourt's done a nice job making the transition to second base.
He's got a strong arm. He played some shortstop. He's also played a little third base. His shortstop arm was on display right there on that double play. They have tried a couple of second basemen over there this season, Chris Getz and Tommy Giavotella, but Betancourt has been the one who has looked really good.
Adam Lind bats with 2 outs and nobody on. Two and 0. Lind had a 2-homer game against the Angels in the last series, and here he's got the count in his favor, 3-0.
It looks like when Tiefer wants to throw a little bit harder, it really throws him off his mechanics, and that's when he starts throwing the ball out of the strike zone. He ended up walking Kelly Johnson after he got the 2 strikes, tried to overthrow a couple of pitches, and he almost hit him. Then got back with Davis and got the ground ball out, and tried to hump up a few pitches to Lind and missed. That time it was free and easy. It was right down the middle.
Back into the count is full at 3-2. Boy, Sal Perez does a good job of presenting a nice target for a big guy. He stays low in the crouch and presents that glove right out in front. There's a fly ball into center. Jason Bourgeois is there, and Tiefer has a quick inning. After a leadoff walk, he gets a double play and a fly out. Now it's time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. Back from Wimbledon, he was eliminated in the second round of the Wimbledon tournament. He's a baseball fan. He's here at Rogers Center. Very up-and-coming rising star in the tennis world, and he has really done a great job over the last couple of seasons. And he had a disappointing finish. He lost to Sam Querrey at the Wimbledon on Friday. At the same time, he's young, just getting his feet on the ground in the world of tennis, and good to see him here tonight.
Getting lots of pictures taken with him. Might have to get him up in one of these suites up here so he doesn't get attacked by the fans.
Huniesky Betancourt He's doubled and scored. He's also struck out. Sharply hit on the ground. Escobar behind second. One down. Ricky Romero just needs a couple of good innings and give his offense a chance to get back in this ball game. We have seen certainly that Blue Jays can score runs in bunches.
Yeah, the offense has been outstanding for the last 10 days, 2 weeks or so. Bruce Walton had something to say to Romero. Right now, I think he should just concentrate on looking at some place down in the strike zone. Maybe that is the shin guards of J.P. Arancibia. Tom Seaver used to talk about that he wanted his catcher to set up in the middle of the plate, and he was aiming for their shin guards. Shin guards would sit out over both sides of the plate. But you pick up something up there and just concentrate, focus on it, and that's where you're going to throw the ball.
Yeah, a lot of pitchers are different in what they zero in on. Mustakas hits it sharply, but Lind will go to the bag, and Romero has 2 quick outs here in the 5th.
I don't think you can ever go wrong if you keep the ball down. You know, we talked about that over the weekend with the Los Angeles Angels in town, and we would have shots of pitchers that were, you know, belt high, and they were making good swings and everything was together. They were balanced, their head was down, but then when they made pitchers down and away from them, they were off balance and they were reaching for the ball. I don't think you can ever go wrong if you just keep the ball down.
Brian Butterfield talking with Jeff Mathis. Imagine that's an interesting conversation. Butterfield always anxious to learn more about the game, and Mathis is such a master of calling games and getting into a pitcher's head. I would imagine Butterfield said, "You see anything out there from Ricky?" Ricky Romero is going to have a good inning. How about 3 ground ball outs in the top of the 5th? He's put up a 0. Now it's up to the hitters to figure out Everett Deeper. It'll be J.P. Arancibia, and then back to the top of the order. Brett Flory and Colby Rasmus. Blue Jays down by 4. Ricky Romero with 3 ground ball outs in the 5th inning, and giving his team a chance to get back in this game. He slowed down the runs. Royals had 2 runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th inning, and Romero had 3 ground ball outs in the 5th. So now J.P. Arancibia will look to get things started.
Use that time to visualize what you just did last inning. You know, where you threw that baseball, how you felt when you were throwing the baseball, because they're going to need a couple more shutdown innings to get back into this one.
2-0. Teford has fallen behind hitters. He had a leadoff walk to Kelly Johnson to start the 4th, but then got double play off the bat of Rajay Davis. to Mustakas at third. One out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Yeah, I just wonder when the Cubs are going to pull the trigger to make some of those trades that they've been talking about. Matt Garza obviously has been the talk of the trade world, but nobody's pulled the trigger on anything big just yet.
It's not time, I don't think. I think as you get closer, you might see that. But nobody has really stepped up to offer them what they're looking for. They can't just give them away.
It's been interesting. Carlos Lee was reportedly on the verge of being dealt to the Dodgers, but he kind of backed out of that. He's got a no trade clause that includes Los Angeles. But it'd be interesting to get an opportunity to go into a pennant race. You'd think in his position, signed a $100 million contract with the Astros, has a big farm in Houston, and you'd think he'd want to get into a pennant race.
Yeah.
The Dodgers just a game behind San Francisco in the National League West, and they are in need of some offense. They really need a first baseman.
Yeah.
James Loney has just recently gone through an 0 for 25 stretch. They don't have Matt Kemp.
Yeah,
they need some offense.
They could use Matt Kemp's. He is such a big part of what they did. They have veteran hitters over there, guys who have been around, like Adam Kennedy. They just haven't been able to put it together this month. They scored the fewest runs in the month of June. I believe they scored 83 runs the whole month. I don't care what kind of pitching you have. You're not going to win games if you don't score.
Well, they've just had so many injuries, and of course Kemp is the key injury. He goes after that high fastball and he strikes out. That'll bring Colby Rasmus to the plate, and Rasmus has had some run here. And up back into the middle of May when he really took off. On May 19th, he was hitting .203. He's hit .304 since with 12 home runs. He's driven in 35 during that stretch. And his average with runners in scoring position, a phenomenal .405.
Comfortable at the plate, eliminating all the thoughts at the plate and just concentrating on that baseball. Has really become a fan favorite here in Toronto.
He plays hard every single day, and we have seen the effort he has put forth defensively. And sometimes lopsided games, like the catch he made against Albert Pujols. His team was up 11-1 at the time.
He wanted to get back at his former teammate, Albert Pujols. He just flashed how many RBIs Colby Rasmus had, and we mentioned it in the opening today about all the All-Star center fielders who are going to the All-Star game, Trout and Granderson. But it's Colby Rasmus who has more RBIs than all of them.
He has 49 RBIs. Curtis Granderson is second with 46. And when you start talking about center fielders, Rasmus is not the first guy most people would think about. But he certainly deserves to be in the conversation.
Certainly. Adam Jones has had a big first half, but Colby Rasmus has had more RBIs than Jones.
High and deep to right, and you can forget about this one. Off the fifth deck. Colby Rasmus, number 16. Stay hot.
Third player on the Blue Jays to crack the 50 RBI plateau this year. And there was no doubt about that one. Watch how quickly the bat head comes through, and you can stand and admire that one because that was almost into the fifth deck here at Rogers Center.
It's up where the big boys go. Bautista fouls it back. Second home run of the game for the Blue Jays, and this is a beauty. That's 6 straight games now. The Blue Jays have hit 2 home runs. With their offense, Blue Jays are never out of a ball game. Hit the second most home runs in the big leagues.
Got to get a couple of guys on now before the next one. Quick points. That's what they're called. Quick points. Put them on the board.
High and deep to center. Bourgeois in front of the warning track. Will get there. Bautista's retired. But the Blue Jays are chipping away. Rasmus with a long home run off the 5th deck here at Rogers Center. His 16th home run of the season. He's now driven in 50. Chairs in the TV Comfort Zone is the Kids Up Front Foundation. Through unused and donated tickets, Kids Up Front provides access to art, culture, and sport to kids that otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. There's a buzz in this ballpark as Rasmus has gotten their attention. Hit one off the 5th deck in right field. And he has really come into his own.
An effortless swing, too. Doesn't it look like? He just keeps it on that swing plane a long time.
This has popped up into right field. Sal Perez, the catcher, is retired. First time Perez has been retired tonight. Ricky Romero has retired 5 in a row. Jason Bourgeois had a good start to his night. 2 for 2.
You've got to figure out the bottom of the lineup here. A couple of singles, a double, and a home run to these last 2 batters. Keep this speed off the bases.
Ground ball, base hit up the middle. Bourgeois is 3 for 3. And the speed is on the bases. Again, we talk about those shutdown half innings. Rasmus with a home run in the bottom of the 5th inning has cut the lead to 3. Kansas City leads 6-3. Bourgeois at first. He was just recalled from AAA on the 27th of June. Well, he is just now getting comfortable back in the big leagues. Alex Gordon takes a strike. They mentioned the double plays in the first series. Blue Jays turned 9 double plays in that 4-game series in Kansas City. And they had a triple play as well. There goes Bourgeois, and They've got him hung up. High throw to Escobar. Romero gets involved. And now the throw to Kelly Johnson, and he puts the tag on Bouchard. Jason Bouchard went on the first move of Romero, but Ricky went to first base, and they had him hung up.
Guessed wrong, guessed Romero. Ricky crossed him up. Going on that first move. As soon as that left-hander picks that leg up, you're going on that first move. We should have just kept on going, because once you get in a rundown like that, you're going to get tagged out eventually.
Yeah, you're not going to get out of it. You're better off just hoping they make a bad throw to second.
That's right. You hope that the first baseman makes that bad throw and you can slide under the tag.
Romero with a chance to really turn things around here with Gordon at the plate. 2 down now. Oh, 0-2. Buries that hook in the dirt. And Gordon strikes out. Romero gets the shutdown inning. Royals go quietly top of the 6th. It'll be middle of the order. Encarnacion, Escobar, Kelly Johnson trying to cut into the Royal lead. In his All-Star nomination this time around, Billy Butler was named to the All-Star team. Kansas City had a representative, and they had to have one, and Billy Butler was their representative. But look at the numbers. OPS, Encarnacion has the advantage, home runs and RBIs. Edwin certainly put up an All-Star caliber first half to his season. But because the rules are such that every team has to be represented, Billy Butler had a good All-Star first half. He deserves to be at the All-Star game, but so does Edwin Encarnacion.
Yeah, that's not to take away anything from Billy Butler, because he's had a very good first half, and I think there's one simple way to remedy that: just make bigger rosters.
I think there's even a better way, and I know there's such this controversy about the All-Star game is for the fans. Well, if it's for the fans, then let the fans have total control over it. But now their player votes, the manager gets selections, and all of that. And if the game means something, let the baseball people pick the team. You know, if it's going to determine home field advantage in the postseason, let the baseball people pick the team. And I have another remedy, too. I don't think every team has an all-star. I think that's the problem. Yeah. Every team is represented at the all-star game, but I don't think every team has an all-star every year.
Can you have a representative in other things, like instead of a player in the game, maybe have a representative at the home run hitting contest, or have a representative at the futures game, something like that?
That's how your team would be represented. This ball is hit toward the gap, long run for Francoeur. He gets there. Encarnacion is retired. This is always a great conversation after the All-Star teams are announced, is about the All-Star snubs. Edwin with 22 home runs and 55 RBIs. Yu Darvish is on the final vote ballot. He is 10-5 for the Rangers. Zach Greinke 9-2 with a very good ERA. Johnny Cueto, and that's another story. Johnny Cueto and Brandon Phillips of the Reds did not make it, and Tony La Russa, the National League manager, has had a history with the Reds, and Dusty Baker, for one, thinks that there's a little bit of a vendetta involved in it. And La Russa says, you know, you're questioning my integrity. And Tony La Russa obviously is a Hall of Fame manager. Just a matter of time before he takes his place in the Hall of Fame. Jason Bourgeois makes a nice catch on a sinking liner.
We also had that shot of Bryce Harper as the snub, but he's on the
Final vote?
Yeah, 34th final vote. That. So those players could still get in, and we've got a week to go before the All-Star game. Somebody could get injured, and Edward could still go.
And I don't think that should diminish a player's feelings about being named as a substitute. Happens all the time. You've had a All-Star caliber first half, and if you make the team, you should enjoy it. Blue Jays hit the ball hard twice here in the bottom of the 6th inning and have nothing to show for it. Kelly Johnson pops this ball up down the left side over near the seats. Mustakas, the third baseman, runs out of room. Chipper Jones is on the National League final vote. And Bryce Harper, I thought he had some classic comments about Chipper Jones. Harper, just 19 years old. He's on that National League ballot as well. He said, if I could vote, I'd vote for Chipper Jones. Chipper's last year, certainly a great way to honor a fine career. But it's up to the fans now.
If Bryce Harper gets voted in by the fans, does he give that up and give it to Chipper Jones?
I don't think he can. I think the fans' vote will stand up.
So then he's it. He was just giving him his endorsement.
Jeff Francoeur calls for it, and he'll make the catch short of the warning track. 3 balls hit hard, but the Blue Jays have nothing to show for it. They go quietly into 6th. Game series Tuesday, July 3rd, 7:07. All 3 games will be night games. For Blue Jays tickets, call Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. You can always log on to BlueJays.com and order your tickets, or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Brett Cecil will go to the mound tomorrow night. Carlos Villanueva on Wednesday, and Henderson Alvarez will wrap up the series and the first half of the home schedule here on Thursday night against the Royals. Alcides Escobar makes a pitch downstairs. Ricky Romero got off to a good start. He threw 11 pitches in the first inning and threw 9 strikes. But since then, he's had a real trouble staying ahead of the Royals hitters. Falls behind 2-0. Tonight he's thrown 42% first pitch strikes. When he's over 50% throwing first pitch strikes, his ERA is 3.88.
Sounds simple, doesn't it?
When he falls behind and under 50%, his ERA jumps to 7.02.
First pitch strikes.
And it's not unique to Ricky Romero. That's pretty universal. Pitchers pitch ahead. Hitters are in a defensive mindset. Borderline strike. It's 3-1. Kansas City leads 6-3. Blue Jays have just 4 hits. But 2 of those hits have left the yard. Leadoff walk to Escobar. That starts the 7th. Ricky Romero has never really had control problems, but this year it's a different story. He leads the American League in most walks allowed. He's 2 ahead of Yu Darvish, Ubaldo Jimenez, Kyle Drabek. He's in the top 5, and C.J. Wilson. He had 5 walks in his start yesterday, but was able to pitch around it. And the Blue Jays have just really had problems throwing strikes. There's a strike. It's ahead of Eric Hosmer.
Quality strikes also. I think there's a difference from throwing a strike where a guy takes and it's right down the middle, very hittable, and a quality strike. Cliff Lee comes to mind when you talk about a guy who throws quality strikes. Attacks the strike zone, keeps the ball down, moves it in and out.
It's funny you mentioned Cliff Lee. He does throw a lot of quality strikes. He hasn't had a win yet.
How about that? It's July and Cliff Lee doesn't have a win.
Cliff Lee doesn't have a win, and the Phillies are in last place. What's wrong with this picture? Phillies have lost 5 straight.
Age and injuries.
Yeah. I think anything that you can look at, it's age. They allowed themselves to get old. David Pauley, the right-hander, starts to warm up for the Blue Jays. Breaking ball, and Hosmer fouls it off his foot. Alcides Escobar has been on base twice. He's singled and now he's walked. That starts the 7th inning.
He was the big key in the trade with the Milwaukee Brewers. Zach Greinke went from Kansas City to Milwaukee. They really wanted Escobar because they wanted an everyday shortstop.
Well, bounced in front of home plate. Aaron Sebe does a nice job to keep Escobar at first. Line drive into center. That ball is knuckling and goes off the glove of Rasmus. Escobar is headed for third. Here's the throw to second. Kelly Johnson with the tag, not in time. That ball had knuckled all the way out to center. You can see Rasmus really fighting to get his glove on it. He got a piece of it, and it will go down as a double.
Watch Rasmus as he comes in, and then the ball just kind of swerves on him. Goes away from his glove hand, and it will be ruled a double. With the dive, it looked like he was going to be able to come up with it, but it just goes right off the fingertips of his glove. And if you've never had that ball knuckle at you like that, it's very scary feeling. You have no idea where it's going to be going.
So Ricky Romero will leave here with nobody out in the 7th. It'll be David Pauley, the right-hander, coming on in relief. 7th inning. A leadoff walk and a double off the glove of Rasmus in center. It's a 3-run game. Kansas City leads 6-3, and David Pauly is on trying to save these 2 base runners.
10th game now this season with the Angels and the Blue Jays. They picked him up from the Angels, 0-1 with a .568 earned run average. Pitched a couple of days ago against his former mates. An inning, 3 hits, a run in that game. It's a lot of ground ball outs. The infield have got to play it halfway. Now, if Pauly can keep the ball down, keep it in the ground, keep those runs from scoring, Blue Jays can't give up anymore.
Well, they have been scratching and clawing to stay in this game, and Pauly gets ahead of Billy Butler. Butler has gone 0 for 3 so far in a ball game. It's the 7th appearance for Pauly against Kansas City. He has made a start against the Royals. High breaking ball foul down the right side. Pauly's pitched a total of 12 1/3 innings against Kansas City. Butler stays alive. He fouled it off.
Wouldn't think that the Royals would play the contact play right here. With nobody out, 2nd and 3rd. Probably play make the ball go through.
With nobody out, that's probably what they're going to do. They might change their strategy if Butler is retired. Breaking ball.
I could see it with 1 out, take a chance, and what that is, you're trying to steal a run. So you go on contact as the runner at 3rd base, and you try and make the defense throw you out at the plate. Try and get a good break at 3rd base, but with nobody out, you don't want to run into an out. You'll take your chance with 1 out, but here Ned Yost is probably going to make the ball go through the infield.
Bouncing ball foul, and the reaction at 3rd base by Escobar indicates they're staying put. He actually took a step back on contact, so right now he's talking to Eddie Rodriguez, the 3rd base coach.
And there is a sign between the 3rd base coach and the runner at 3rd and the runner at 2nd base. He wants to know what he's doing at 3rd base, what that runner's doing.
Another 0-2 pitch. He hits it. Coming inside, he hit Billy Butler on the elbow, and the bases will be loaded. But Pauly got ahead quickly, and then Butler fouled off a couple of pitches, and now he gets hit by a pitch.
His fastball's got some sinking action on it. And that time they wanted to go inside trying to jam up Billy Butler. Romero wants these runs saved right here.
Yuniesky Betancourt goes after the first pitch and fouls it back. Well, a big part of the ball game for both ball clubs. Kansas City wanting to expand their lead, and Blue Jays need to keep it right where it is.
Looks like from how they're playing at the Blue Jays in the middle of the diamond that they will trade 2 outs for a run. They will allow that run to score. If there's a ground ball to Escobar or Johnson in the middle of the diamond, they will go for 2.
Sinker misses downstairs. It's a ball on the strike.
Now that's not written in stone. As they get deeper into the count, they could change that up. If there's a couple of strikes on the batter and the batter becomes defensive, they might change up and then bring the infield in, thinking that a ground ball they can go home to first for the double play.
Fouls off the breaking ball. Brian Butterfield will always move his infielders around according to the count. You can see Betancourt has 4 career grand slams. It's the .258 average. This is only the 2nd at bat he's had this year with the bases loaded. And a base hit earlier. Escobar at 3rd base, Hosmer at 2nd, and Billy Butler at 1st. Yuniesky Betancourt, nobody out. Good block by Aaron Sebia.
for the strikeout now with 2 strikes. Paulie throws a breaking ball, holds on to it just a little bit too long. Looking for a strikeout, the pop up. How about a comebacker?
Base hit past Laurie into left. 1 run is in. Hosmer will stop at third, and Betancourt delivers. 7-3 Kansas City. Escobar with the leadoff walk comes around to score, and the bases will remain loaded.
17 RBIs in his last 12 games, 24 RBIs in the month of June, and he starts off July quite nicely. Betancourt gets himself an RBI.
Second one of the night. An RBI double back in the third. Mike Mustakas. High and deep to center. Rasmus back, looking up, off the wall, and home run. Off the facing of the deck beyond the fence, a grand slam home run for Mike Mustakas, his first career grand slam. The bullpen in yesterday's game gave up 7 in the 8th and 9th. And Kansas City has kicked the door wide open. His 14th home run of the season is a grand slam.
And they can't close it right here. You can close the books now on Ricky Romero. And he will be charged with 8 runs. Mustakas, the big hit there.
Francoeur goes after the first pitch. Kelly Johnson calling for it. That's the first out of the inning.
Mustakas has power. It's a guy that 30+ home runs in the minor leagues. And he didn't wait around at all. First pitch swinging and drives it off the concrete barrier in center field. 4 quick RBIs, and it's a 5-run inning.
Kansas City has hit 2 home runs tonight. Sal Perez, the catcher at the plate, got a 2-run home run in the second. Big bouncing ball to third. Laurie across the diamond. Perez is retired. The look is closed on Ricky Romero. He goes 6 plus 2 batters, gives up 11 hits, 8 earned runs, walked 3 and struck out 4. Got off to a good start, but second inning they scored 2 runs, and he just couldn't keep the Royals in check.
Things were looking good. Gave up that scratch single in the first inning, struck out the first 2 batters in the second, then walking home run. And seemed to find it in the middle innings. And then opening up the 7th inning, a walk and a double, and that was it.
Bouncing ball to second base. And that'll end the inning. But Mike Mustakas, his first career grand slam. Kansas City leads 11-3. Interesting, the Pittsburgh Pirates 42-36, just a game behind the Cincinnati Reds, and that NL Central is bunching up. The Cardinals are 2.5 back in the Central. Gerard Dyson hit for Jason Bourgeois to end the 7th inning. He takes over defensively in center field.
The Blue Jays scored 143 runs in the month of June, but that was second in baseball. Do you know who was first?
I do. The Pittsburgh Pirates. They scored 146 runs.
How about that?
They came out of nowhere. They had 2 awful months offensively.
Yeah.
April and May, they didn't do a thing, hitting just over 200. But boy, in the month of June, they come on like gangbusters, and they have moved to within a game of first place. That's one of those teams that would be good for baseball, for them to become a contending ball club. Pittsburgh has always been a great baseball town, and it's been a long time, what, 19 straight years of losing baseball?
Yeah, I don't think they've had a record of 500 above until, what was it, the 1992? Was it the Barry Bonds year where they lost to the Atlanta Braves in the NLCS?
Yeah. That
was the last year that they had a record of 500 or better.
That's a broken back base hit for Rajay Davis. Got to get things started here in the 7th.
Watch over 50 years of Honda racing innovation at the Honda Indy Toronto, July 6th to 8th. Get tickets at HondaIndy.com.
Adam Lynn, the number 8 hitter in the Blue Jays lineup, so far is 0 for 2. Kansas City leads 11-3. That's just the 5th hit of the night for the Blue Jays against the Royals.
Got to get a couple of runners on right here and turn this lineup over. See if Laurie, Rasmus, Bautista can hit with runners on.
Bouncing ball. Hosmer goes to second. They'll get the lead runner, and that's all. Davis is retired on the force out. 3-6. Moves at first base.
Tiford is in a part of the ball game where he's never been before in his career. His career high in innings pitched as a starter was 6. That was last September 17th against the White Sox. So now 6 1/3. He's had a career high tonight. Just 1 strikeout.
And Sebia pulls it foul.
He's a pitch to contact kind of guy, and he is showing that here tonight. A lot of fly ball outs, some ground ball outs. He'll give up some home runs because he throws a lot of strikes and he makes you hit it.
Blue Jays had him on the ropes in the first inning, and they scored a run. And then they had a walk and hit by pitch. They had a couple of guys on. They had the bases loaded, and all they could muster was 1 run. And after that, he kind of settled in nicely. Had a 1-2-3 second. Gave up a 2-out home run to Jose Bautista in the 3rd. And he is pitching here in the 7th inning. And he's ahead of Aaron Sebia, 0-2. This is popped up, playable. Hosmer in foul ground. Aaron Sebia is retired. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, back to the top of the order. Brett Laurie had a leadoff double and came around to score in the 1st.
Perez does a nice job of receiving that ball, keeping pitches on the plate, giving the umpire a really good look at it. That ball appeared to be off the plate. Pulled it right back for his pitcher.
Well, for a big guy, obviously always a concern that he might block out the umpire's view of the strike zone, but Perez stays down very well, presents a low target, and gives the umpire a good look at that plate.
This is the best part of his game. We heard about it last year, that he's an excellent catcher, he's an excellent game caller, and his arm is fantastic. Threw out 42% of the base runners in the minor leagues.
Well, you can see him encouraging Teaford as he emphasized that he wanted the pitch down. And then when Teaford delivered, he nodded, yeah, that's what I mean. But he's very demonstrative behind the plate, assertive. Watch how he asks for that pitch down and then presents the glove and then says, yep, that's exactly what I was looking for.
Encouraging your starting pitcher.
I think a job of a catcher is to make every pitcher feel like Sandy Koufax. Man, you are bringing it tonight, and every time I ask for a pitch, you deliver. Nothing wrong with that. Once every 5 days, make him feel like Sandy Koufax.
Yeah, sure. See him. All right, now be smart now. Let's throw your breaking ball here, and let's keep it down.
Then look at him like, nope, that's not going to get it done. That was too good a pitch, so he's going to go out to the mound. You leave nothing for chance, and this kid's 22 years old.
Yeah.
Got a nice feel for the game.
You have to remember the game plan, what you want to do. And according to the Royals game plan, they'll throw breaking balls to Brett Lawrie out of the strike zone, or they'll go with high fastballs.
And a breaking ball. This was a ball that Lawrie have to go after it with 2 strikes.
Here's the high fastball.
Well, he strikes out for the second time tonight. The Blue Jays go quietly in the 7th. It's all Kansas City. Grab some buds. Please enjoy responsibly.
If you're a smart base runner at third base and you're anticipating the ball in the dirt, you can score even when the ball isn't very far off the dirt. This ball gets away from Jake Guerin. See, Jason Bourgeois anticipating it, and because it doesn't get very far right onto the turf, he is able to score easily. A smart play by a smart base runner.
Got to be able to anticipate those balls in the dirt, and even though it didn't go very far, Bourgeois was able to come in to score. Kansas City's playing some pretty good baseball of late, even though they've lost some key pitchers to their pitching staff. The young ball club has hung in there, and Ned Yost has them playing very well. So we mentioned back-to-back winning months for the first time since 2007.
They have some good everyday players. Some players who the Blue Jays saw at the beginning of the season. They hadn't hit their stride yet. Eric Hosmer was not hitting. Alex Gordon was not hitting. Mustakas had a good series in Kansas City. They're all hitting now, and they're putting up some runs. Got some speed.
Alex Gordon cuts on the first pitch from David Polly. 1 for 4 tonight for the Royals left fielder. Gordon has found a home in the outfield. He was drafted as a third baseman, and he has moved to the outfield, and everything has come together for him. He was saddled with the unfortunate label of being the next George Brett. Awfully big shoes to fill.
Yeah, they give him a single-digit number also, make him play third base. You hit left-handed, you throw right-handed, and the natural assumption is you're great. You're going to be the next Hall of Famer. Drafted very high, 2nd overall. So the assumption's there. The best thing they could have done was get him off third base and put him in the outfield. I mean, he has taken over in left field. Won a Gold Glove there last year.
He's got a strong arm. Gordon has 6 outfield assists. His partner in right field, Jeff Francoeur, also has 6. Overall, the Royals outfield has 20 outfield assists. They led that department last year in the American League.
Gordon had 20 all by himself last year.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Kansas City Royals 6 back in the American League Central Division. They are in 4th place. They're 7 games under 500. But they have their catcher back now, and they are anxious to make a big charge in the second half. Kansas City will wrap up the first half of their schedule with a 3-game series against the Tigers in Detroit. And then they'll come home to the All-Star game. It'll be in Kansas City. Festivities beginning on Sunday with the Futures game and the Celebrity Softball game.
Yeah, it's a big road trip for them. 11 games in 10 days before they head back home. They had that doubleheader in Minnesota from a previous rain out.
Then they'll have a nice homestand after the All-Star break. Gordon over the glove of Lowry in the left field. Well, that was a very determined at bat by Alex Gordon. He has 2 hits now. Time to take a look at the Blue Jays farm report. We're going to check in with the Midwest League team, the Lansing Lugnuts, and Aaron Sanchez. What a season he has put together. 7-0, his ERA at 0.63. He has not allowed a home run, and the opponents have hit 157 against him.
His last start was getting stronger and stronger. He gave up 3 singles over the 5 innings in there. Blue Jays very guarded with their young starters in the minor leagues. They are on strict pitch counts and inning counts. Just 5 innings last time, 2 infield hits. Hasn't allowed a home run over 16 appearances. Like you said, 7 runs, 4 of them earned over 57 Midwest League innings this year. So he and Syndergaard Nicolino doing what they did last year, dominating at the lower levels.
I mean, his line has been like that all year long. Give up 4 innings, give up 1 hit. 4 innings, no hits. 4 innings, 3 hits. He just hasn't given up anything, and has not given up a home run.
I would imagine in the second half of the season that those kids will move up 1 level.
Line to Lowry, throw to first base is not in time. Gordon gets back. Escobar is retired.
Line drive right at Brett Lowry. The soft single by Gordon, and the line drive by Escobar is the out. The ball hit softly as the single. That's baseball for you.
Eric Hosmer is 2 for 3, and he came into this game 11 for his last 25 over his last 7 games, so he'll improve on those numbers.
Yeah, he's starting to swing it. We didn't see the real Eric Hosmer earlier in the year.
11 runs scored by Kansas City is a season high for the Royals. They've also tied their season high with 14 hits. They had 2 14-hit games, both against the Cardinals in interleague play. But they have set a new high for runs scored with 11. One and 2 to Eric Hosmer. That's a foul ball just outside the bag. Rogers customers have more ways to catch Sportsnet's live coverage of the Blue Jays. Watch the action live all season from your smartphone. Download the Rogers Live app from your app store. And outside Rogers Center, beautiful night here, and it's been a gorgeous Canada Day weekend here in Toronto. Lots of fans all weekend long.
No, you can't beat the weather that we have had here in Toronto.
Hosmer waves at that outside pitch and strikes out. That's the second out of the inning.
Changeup got him that time. And David Pauly, he's got good movement on his pitches. Just needs a little bit more consistency in throwing it where he needs to. Totally crossed up Hosmer that time.
Billy Butler was the first batter to face David Pauly. Pauly came into the game, and Pauly hit him by a pitch. He hit him, and that loaded the bases and set up Betancourt's RBI base hit, and eventually Mustakas' grand slam. Two and 0. David Pauly in his second inning of relief. Popped up into left field. Rajay Davis moves underneath it and makes the catch. That ends the inning. The Blue Jays have retired the Royals here in the top of the 8th. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio. And a camp out right here at Rogers Center Field. You can sleep where the Blue Jays play. Saturday, July 14th, the Blue Jays will take on the Cleveland Indians. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. Your $100 event ticket includes a $111 outfield ticket to the Blue Jays and Indians game. Visit BlueJays.com/campout for more information. And a great opportunity to get down on the field and camp out. Have a sleepover right here at Rogers Center. Kelvin Herrera pitching in his 37th game of the season, will come on in relief of Everett Tiefert, who was very good. Tiefert, 7 strong innings. He allowed 3 runs on 5 hits.
The Kansas City Royals bullpen ranks 7th in the American League in strikeouts per 9 innings because they've got a lot of guys who can bring it when they're on the mound. This is one of them right here. Herrera's been known to hit 100 miles an hour with his fastball. He's got very good command. That one 98 miles an hour. He's got good command with that fastball, and he really rides it into the right-handers.
Colby Rasmus homered his last time up in the 5th against Everett Tiefert. They mentioned Rasmus had a 2-homer game against Kansas City back in April. In that game, he homered off of Tiefert and Herrera.
That second one was a bomb to right field. If you remember that one, over the water fountain.
This time he strikes out. Good sinking fastball, but it's been a great stretch for Colby Rasmus, both with the glove and with the bat.
Yeah, going to right center field, long, rangy center fielder. He can cover a lot of ground. And when he is not running them down in the outfield, he's hitting down in the ballpark at the plate. 16 home runs now for Rasmus, and he has reached 50 RBIs. The 3rd Blue Jay batter to reach 50 RBIs this year. He's had a good couple of days.
Jose Bautista is also homered here tonight, his 27th of the season. Bautista earlier in the afternoon was named the American League Player of the Month for his 14 home run, 30 RBI month of June. Fifth time in his career Bautista has won the Player of the Month award. And he is headed to his 3rd All-Star game in Kansas City.
And the home run hitting contest.
Mark Carlson called a strike. Bautista thought it was down and in and just tossed his bat aside.
Not trying to show anybody up right there. Just a little bit of a delayed call. Bautista thought it was in.
Full countdown. We are in the bottom of the 8th, and it's been all Kansas City. They scored 2 runs in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and added 5 runs in the top of the 7th. Pace hit the left for Bautista. 2 for 3 tonight.
I don't care what pitch you throw or how hard you throw it. If you throw it into his zone, he's waiting for it and ready. Bautista is hot.
Everett Tiefert, the starter tonight, had a good outing. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs. 2 of those hits were home runs. Bautista and Colby Rasmus with solo home runs, but he was in command from the first pitch of the ballgame.
Yeah, career high in innings pitched as a starter, 7. That's the 5 hits, a couple of home runs. Was right there with his scouting report. Scouting report says he'll pitch to contact. He'll make you hit your way on. That's exactly what he did. Blue Jays just haven't been able to get any base runners going.
Edwin Encarnacion hit a 2-run home run off Herrera back in Kansas City in April. It was a 99-mile-an-hour fastball that he hit out of the yard.
Turn that baby around. Yeah, they roughed him up, Herrera in Kansas City. His fastball was straight that day. He combines it with a pretty decent changeup.
Good breaking ball right there. And Herrera's ahead 1-2. And Herrera came into that ball game and gave up 2 on home run to Encarnacion, and then 1 out later, a solo shot to Colby Rasmus. First of 4 games against Kansas City. Blue Jays will wrap up their home portion of the first half on Thursday night and then go to Chicago. Take on the White Sox for a 3-game series. Foul. Friday night in Chicago and then a couple afternoon games against the White Sox, and then the Blue Jays will take the All-Star break off. Everybody but Jose Bautista.
As of now, something could happen. Heck, Colby Rasmus could still go. Those things change all the time. Injuries happen.
It says popped up right side of the infield. Hosmer backs up, makes the grab. 2 down.
Watch over 50 years of Honda racing innovation at the Honda Indy Toronto, July 6th to 8th. Get tickets at HondaIndy.com.
July 6th through the 8th, the Honda Indy will be right downtown in Toronto at the old CNA grounds, and it's a great race, a great opportunity to get outside and see those Indy cars race through the streets of Toronto. Yunel Escobar has gone 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flied out. Picked up an RBI in the first.
You ever been to one of those races?
Nope.
We were there.
Always happen in the summertime.
We were in St. Pete when that happened. It's very loud.
Mustakas' strong arm guns down across the infield. Blue Jays are done in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Kansas City with an 11-3 lead. We'll be right back here tomorrow night for Game 2 of this 4-game series against Kansas City. It all starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. Brett Cecil will go to the mound, and Cecil will make the start against Vin Mazzaro. And Brett Cecil, happy birthday, Brett. Today is Brett's birthday. Turned 26 years old today. David Pauley trying to wrap things up here in the 9th inning, and his 3rd inning of relief. He came on with nobody out in the 7th. Ricky Romero went 6 innings, gave up 11 hits and 8 earned runs. Got off to a pretty good start. For 11 pitches in the first inning, gave up a hit, but nothing more. And then had back-to-back strikeouts to start the second inning, and then a 2-out walk to Francoeur set up the 2-run home run to the catcher, Salvador Perez.
Yeah, 2 more runs in the third, 2 more in the fourth, and it seemed to find it. The fly ball double play to Bautista, retired 2, and then a 1-2-3 fifth. Basically a 1-2-3 sixth inning, also single and a pickoff in there, and then came out to start the seventh, and he was at about 93 or 94 pitches. Certainly John Farrell could get him through one more inning, a walk, a double, and then he was pulled.
Two and two. Little looper into shallow right. Bautista on the run. Makes a nice running catch. One down here in the ninth. Now it's time for a preview of what's coming up on Connected. Here is Ryan Leslie and Ivanka Osman. Hockey free agency started yesterday, and a lot of action, and I'm sure they'll have a lot of news for you on Connected coming right up after this ball game. A lot of baseball scores to talk about too. How about the red-hot Pittsburgh Pirates? They lead Houston 9-2, top of the 8th inning.
15 more hits for the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight.
Mike Mustakas hit a grand slam home run his last time up, his first career grand slam.
Not wasting any time against David Pauly. Pitch out over the plate, and he's got power. Mustakas, 14th home run, 4 more RBIs, and that really blew it open right there. 4 of the 5 runs in that inning scoring with that home run.
Bouncing ball, Brett Laurie, bare hands, throws on the run. What a play. Brett Laurie had no choice but to go after it barehanded, and he grabbed it and threw it all in one motion and throws out Mustakas.
Watch the angle that Laurie is coming in. They're in the shift against Mustakas, and watch the angle he's got to come in. And the first base is way over to his left. He's got to throw across his body, and he's got to get there. The ball on a flyer. He has no chance to get Mustakas. What a play.
Right on the money. 2 outs. Jeff Francoeur hits it to left field. Rajay Davis is there, and the inning is over. The Royals go quietly in the ninth. The Blue Jays will bat bottom of the ninth. They trail by 8. There's no doubt in my mind that he has really taken over well at third base.
This is earlier off the bat of Billy Butler. He stays down and stays right with it, shows off the strong arm. Lynn shows it off in a different way, throwing off the run across the diamond. If he keeps working hard, keeps improving, I think there are a Gold Glove seasons. There are some in there for him.
Yep, he's a good worker and a very good student who works hard with Brian Butterfield on the technique playing third. Jim Collins, a former Blue Jay, will make his 35th appearance of the season.
He's got a good arm, 93-mile-an-hour fastball through the curves to the left. His right-hander is hitting just 167. Shows you the type of breaking ball that he has. He is the Blue Jays minor league pitcher of the year in 2009 and was traded to the Atlanta Braves in the Escobar deal. But he has really found a home in Kansas City.
Alex Gonzalez, Tyler Pasternicki, and Tim Collins all went to Atlanta for Jojo Reyes and Yunel Escobar. Kelly Johnson goes after the first pitch and hits it sharply right to the second baseman. With one out here in the bottom of the ninth, let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Freddie Garcia started for New York and pitched into the 6th inning. And now just 5 hits and a couple of runs. David Robertson was on the mound when they kicked it around. But the Rays had a good start from Matt Moore. He goes 7 innings, 9 hits, allowed 3 runs. And now they're into the bullpen with Joe Peralta in the pitch. Rajay Davis has gone 1 for 3 tonight.
Matt Moore, 7 innings tonight for
7 innings, 3 runs.
Watch him in the second half.
Just getting his feet on the ground now, isn't he? Bouncing ball. That's a fair ball. Mustakas in the dirt, dugout by Eric Hosmer. Good play on both ends.
We were talking about Brett Laurie winning some Gold Gloves. There's a couple in the infield, I think, for the Kansas City Royals. There's one there. Hosmer is one of the finest, I think, first baseman. He's big. He's 6'4", but he's got soft hands. He's got great movement and actions around the bag. Picks that one cleanly for Mustakas.
Adam Lind goes after the first pitch and fouls it into the seats. Yeah, if you were going to go out and draw up the first baseman, you might draw up Eric Hosmer. Got soft hands, a big tall guy, about 6'4", with good range. Breaking ball around the inside corner. Swings the bat well, and just getting off to his big league career. They've done a nice job of developing.
I think he's all of 22 also.
Yeah, they got a bright future in Kansas City, and with Hosmer and Mustakas on the infield. Mustakas is 23. He's over at third base. Hosmer won't turn 23 until October. Hosmer was a 3rd overall pick in 2008. 1-2, 2 outs.
Collins will drop that curveball on the left-handers. Changeup is pretty solid, but not to the lefties.
Strike 3 call. That'll end it. Collins strikes out Lind. He has a 1-2-3 9th inning, and Kansas City off to a great start in game 1 of this 4-game series. Mike Mustakas with his first career grand slam. He drove in 5 runs. 11-3 Kansas City. Stay tuned for Connected. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks for watching.